Good morning, good morning, good morning. I mean, I'm not Sean, but hey, it is a good frigging morning. I woke up to Bitcoin at $12,000 finally. Guys, this is not just any ordinary level, okay? This is the weekly time frame that we're currently on, all right? And I want you to notice how the last time Bitcoin lived over that beautiful 12K region on the weekly time frame was only in the last bull market. That's right. We have not penetrated that region yet. So this next weekly close is going to be critical, and it is going to be exciting. So on today's agenda, we are going to be covering Bitcoin in addition to Chainlink. Yes, I know there's a lot of panic in the market over Chainlink, but hey, we're going to go over it. But before we go over, well, the meat of the analysis, there's one thing that I want to really bring up to your attention. Now, yesterday I noticed that a lot of people, okay, not just on the Telegram chat, but also in the YouTube comment section, as well as Twitter, okay, everyone was asking that one question that they always ask every time Bitcoin sees a move. And that question usually starts with, why? First of all, the why for Bitcoin is very, very evident. You literally just have to go onto Google and type in Bitcoin to really figure out the kind of mainstream interest that is currently pouring into Bitcoin. That's right, there are companies out there making Bitcoin their reserve currency. Companies, let that sink in. Okay, so yes, there is a why for Bitcoin, number one. But number two, guys, even from the 3K region all the way up to 14K, can you tell me what was the why then? There was no why. And the real question is, why are you looking for a why? When there's an easier, more stress-free way to really approach your trades, to really approach the chart, and that is technical analysis. The best thing I did for myself, guys, was learning how to do my own TA. Okay, yes, I had Sean. Yes, I was student zero of the Mango Seed program. Very proud of that. But hey, that was what really changed my game. That is what allowed me to make more money in the bear market than I ever made in the bull market. Because let me tell you something about fundamentals and tell you something about the why. There was a why even during the bear market, but look at what price did. We saw altcoins drop a good 70 to 80%. There were a lot of fundamentals brewing in the space, but price was not reflective of that. Remember, there's an easier, more stress-free way to approach the charts, guys. Technical analysis. I personally learned everything from Sean and the Mango Seed program. Okay, and in the program, we don't ask for why. We ask one question: what's the chart telling us? Period. Okay, because that is what's going to tip us off on the move, on the news, before the news even hits the floor. Okay, so it's all in technical analysis. If you know how to read the chart, you would have anticipated this move all the way up to 12K. Okay, you wouldn't be sitting here now asking why. All right, so do yourselves a favor, put in the initiative, all right, and learn how to do your TA, because that is what's going to be your edge leading into the next bull cycle. All right, now let's get into the charts and see what Bitcoin is up to. So we spoke about a couple of developments on Bitcoin's chart yesterday, right? Now, this is the weekly time frame. The last time we covered the weekly time frame was on that Monday, and the weekly closed really well in that we closed over that cloud. And just with that mere close, guys, I anticipated price actually going up to that next point of resistance sitting at around 11.9K. That was a major weekly point of resistance. Now, my confidence in us actually testing 11.9K really stemmed from the fact that we had been putting in that macro uptrend, okay, which has been intact. In addition to that, guys, we took out a major weekly cloud resistance. Okay, so if you combine the two, the chart is essentially telling you that, hey, the direction of least resistance is to the upside. All right, and that's why I had anticipated price actually going up to 11.9K all the way to that 12K region. But now remember, where did we get 12K from? If we get onto that daily time frame, okay, I had mentioned to you guys that Bitcoin had that monthly consolidation that morphed into that beautiful symmetrical triangle that we broke out of. And if you guys remember, those of you who have been diligently watching the videos, you guys know that the measured move of this beautiful symmetrical triangle took Bitcoin all the way up to 12.5K. Okay, that was the measured move of the symmetrical triangle. So can we get up there? I think we can with the momentum, the overall momentum of the chart right now. I think the bulls are, of course, the bulls are in control. That is pretty evident. But if we can maintain this uptrend, I think 12.5K is going to be on the books. For that to really gauge whether or not we can get up there, I'm going to pan on over to those lower time frames, because as you can see, Bitcoin is currently trending on something much lower than the daily time frame. Here we are, Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame, because I do believe that Bitcoin is currently in a 1 hour uptrend. That's right, we have not even lost the 1 hour uptrend yet. Hell, in this range right here, I think Bitcoin was actually trending on something much lower than 1 hour. But as things stand, I think we have lost that lower time frame uptrend, and Bitcoin is going to start settling into the 1 hour uptrend. What I'll be looking for this to actually see continuation to the upside is for Bitcoin to live over the Tenkin as well as that 21 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. If we can maintain those two regions as support, okay, which we clearly are right now, we're well over those two regions, I think that price could very well actually move all the way up to 12.5K, testing that next region of resistance, which also matches up with the measured move of that beautiful symmetrical triangle. Okay, if we start breaking the 21 Tenkin to the downside, I will be looking for the next support to step in at around this region, 11.9K, which, by the way, is also weekly support for now, because we have not really closed over this region on the weekly time frame yet. I do believe that price is likely to come down there. That's going to be the next point of contention if we lose the 21 Tenkin to the downside. If we start losing these wick lows right here, I think that 1 hour uptrend has officially been lost. Okay, at which point, if we start doing that, I will be boiling up to those higher time frames, 4 hours specifically. Okay, and I'll be watching for whether or not price could maintain a 4 hour uptrend from there. But as things stand right now with Bitcoin, guys, it is looking bullish. Now, the major time frame on Bitcoin's chart is going to be that weekly time frame. Why? Because I had mentioned that one thing in the beginning of today's video was that Bitcoin has not closed over this 11.9K region ever since the last bull cycle. Okay, that was the last time we actually lived over this region on the weekly time frame. Currently, Bitcoin is testing this region. Now, question is, do we actually have to wait on that weekly close to really anticipate whether or not price could be moving up from here? And I think not. Okay, I think there's going to be another time frame that's going to give us our first tip off, and that is actually going to be Sean's favorite time frame, which is the 4-day. Now, he actually brought this one up to my attention, so props to Sean for this. But he was looking at, well, this region right here, our same point of resistance that we're looking at around 11.9K. He's looking at that on the 4-day time frame. Now, this 4-day candle actually closes this Friday, so you won't be waiting too long. But if you actually have to observe price off of this region right here, you'll notice that we have not had a single 4-day candle body close over 11.9K just yet. Okay, the last time we did that on the 4-day time frame was once again only in that last bull market. So the close on this coming Friday, guys, is going to be critical, okay? And I will be watching the chart like a hawk. If we close over, I will be looking for further continuation to the upside. The first point of resistance coming in at around 13.2K, going all the way up to 13.9K. Okay, that is going to be the next official resistance for Bitcoin. It's going to be a very, very volatile, highly profitable zone for traders. So this is what Bitcoin is up to. Let's quickly get on to Link USD, because everybody's panicking about Linky Dink, and I'm not sure why, because Chainlink USDT is still very much in a weekly uptrend. Okay, the overall weekly structure, guys, is still in bullish territory. Now, the last time we spoke about Link, I'm just going to quickly zoom into this price action, was the last time we closed that weekly candle, which was this past Monday. So as things stand, I was looking at price relative to that $11 region, because we had identified that as that major overhead resistance. Okay, and I told you guys that if and only if price manages to close over $11 on the weekly time frame, will I be anticipating a move to the upside. Okay, only then will I be looking at this overall picture as a bullish picture. And why was that? It was because Link has been holding that $11 as resistance for over a month now, okay, ever since 14th of September. So we've been closing the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks now. Okay, now we're currently on the 6th week, 6 weeks underneath the $11 region. That $11 is going to be critical to really figure out whether or not the bulls are about to take over. Now, in the last video, I had also mentioned that because we closed over that $11 region, okay, Chainlink is still very much in the same range that it has been trading in, which was from $11 going all the way down to the 21 EMA. And I told you guys very specifically that the volatility is going to kick in. Okay, from $11 going all the way to 21 to that 21 EMA, which is a good what? That was a good 12%. And honestly, guys, let's face it, this was actually a very, very easy trade. As soon as we actually got rejected off of that $11 region on the weekly time frame, this was a very easy range to be had, right? Because there's one thing that I've been harping on about Chainlink's chart is that it gives you these very clear signatures. Now, the one that I personally really like was the 4-hour 21 EMA. The fact that when price starts to trend, it trends extremely well on that 4-hour 21 EMA. Now, in addition to that, there's another thing that does really well on Chainlink's chart is basically Chainlink within its ranges. Now, as soon as we closed underneath that $11 region, that was our first tip off in that Chainlink may very well want to start playing the very same range it has been in for the past 5 weeks now. Okay, and that's exactly what we saw, but I want you to see how bullish this pickup was. But now the main question is, can we actually see price get, picked back up enough to close that next weekly candle over that $11 region? Now, to really get a good sort of grasp on that, I think that the lower time frames is going to paint the picture for us. Okay, so let's quickly get onto the daily time frame and see what the daily is up to. So this is currently Chainlink on the daily time frame. I'm so used to saying Bitcoin, but no, Chainlink on the daily time frame. And I, as you can see, I have this trend line drawn on my chart. Now, as soon as everyone started panicking yesterday, I came here to kind of take a look at the chart. I'm currently not in any Chainlink trade, okay? But I noticed that there is this trend line in play, and this trend line is essentially guiding that beautiful high or low structure, okay? And as things stand, I actually like the picture of this so far. The fact that the bears were not able to push price down enough to actually get a graze of that diagonal is telling me that the bulls actually stepped in early to support price. Okay, so we had buy pressure come in way earlier than anticipated. Now, the overhead resistance is coming in at $11, okay, and the diagonal underneath, you can see it. I have it marked right here. So this may very well be putting in an ascending triangle, and we all know how much Chainlink loves triangles, and they actually do extremely well as reversal patterns too, so watch out for that. But I'll be padding on over to the 4-hour time frame right now because you guys know I absolutely love the 4-hour time frame and really looking for hints whether or not the bulls or the bears are taking over. And as things stand right now, Chainlink USDT is currently getting rejected off of that 4-hour 21 EMA. So if and only if Chainlink can start living over the 4-hour 21 EMA and us actually start using it as support, will I be anticipating a push to the upside. Okay, so it'll really depend on how this next candle closes, and I believe it closes in about 1 hour. So we close a 4-hour as well as a 12-hour in about 1 hour. So if we can take back that 4-hour 21 EMA, I think the bulls could very well take this to the upside. The next point of resistance coming in at $11. Okay, if we start taking out $11, we're likely going to start testing these highs here at $11.54. Okay, it's if and only if we start living over that region will I be looking on the 4-hour time frame, living over that region on the 4-hour time frame, will I be looking for further continuation to the upside. As things stand, I think it's a decent picture. I think Chainlink is still consolidating, okay, but in terms of the overall trend, that is very visible on those higher time frames, primarily the weekly time frame. Chainlink USDT is still very much in an uptrend. Okay, so I think everyone should be watching out for how those lower time frames react off of that $11 region and whether or not we could see price living over that 21 EMA, because that is going to give you your first tip off. Okay, we need to start living over and using that 21 EMA as underneath support. All right, if we can start doing that, I think $11 is ours on that next weekly close. We start closing over $11 on the weekly, guys, it's game. I think the bulls are in control and Chainlink USDT is going up from there. All right, now this is all I have for you for Bitcoin and Chainlink with this. Trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao.